Well, hello folks. Welcome back to the channel. It's all about racing. Glad to have you here. Today, we're going to finally take a look at three 143 scale Ford GT models, one from IXO, one from TSM, and one from Spark. Look at them, compare them to one another, decide which one you think might be the best one for you. We're going to start with packaging and presentation. Then we're going to look at details, scale, finish, and overall thoughts. Here we go. Now the first car is the least expensive of the group. This is the IXO. This is a 143 scale. It comes in this gray and black box. Plastic base, acrylic jewel cover. Sells for about $50. Now the second car is this TSM model, also 143 scale. Comes on this white plastic base, white box, acrylic jewel cover, and sells for about $80. And finally is my newest acquisition. This is the Spark 143 scale Ford GT. Comes on this gray base, acrylic jewel cover, and this 24-hour themed box. Now folks, as I haven't removed these from the bases, they're going to look a little awkward side by side because obviously the IXO, which you have here in the center here, is much higher set than both are the TSM model on the left and your Spark model on the right. Now, if we focus in on the IXO model, here in the center, you can get a good look at the shape and size comparative to the others. One thing that you notice with the TSM model, and this will be more obvious when we look at the side view, is that it is a little tall, a little fat. I call it a little pudgy, and quite frankly, I think it's one of the poorest castings of any model that I've got. Not only that, I have significant issues with the quality control of this car, in addition to the overall design. You can see if you look at the radiator holes there on the hood how crappy the paint job is, and it really is quite awful and unacceptable for a $50 model. However, the headlight detail is actually pretty good for this model. The pitot tube, which is in the center of the Ford logo, I think is a little large, and I think the tow hook is a little over-exaggerated as well. The front splitter looks nice, but it lacks carbon fiber detail. Now, the TSM model looks great all the way around. Shape and size and scaling look absolutely spectacular. Great looking front splitter. The grille has nice detail. Inlaid mesh. Headlights are probably second only to the Spark. Pitot tube looks excellent. Radiators sharp, not just black holes. Paint and finish on the car is absolutely exceptional. Lastly is the Spark, and all the good things you have to say about the TSM model, you can pretty much say with the Spark. Everything looks good. The front splitter, the carbon fiber detail look excellent. Tow hook, pitot tube. Headlights, I think, are the best of the three. And the radiator detail, I think, is even better than that of the TSM model. In other regards, it looks equally as good. Now, when you look at these models from a side glance, the differences between the Spark and the TSM model are less exaggerated, but the IXO really stands out as the loser here. If you take a look at it, it just looks high, tall, fat. While I think they tried to do a great job with the aerials, it looks overdone. Looks like a porcupine in my opinion. Finish overall is good. There are some quality control mistakes, particularly with decals, with the EcoBoost logo on both sides of the car. TSM model, on the other hand, looks sleek and sharp, just like a Ford GT should look like. Aerials look good. Fit and finish are absolutely phenomenal. Wheels, all in all, great model. And finally, the Spark. Spark looks equally as good as the TSM as far as shape, sculpture, design. The colors are a little different. Now, this is a 2018 model, and consequently, it has a deeper maroon finish and a deeper blue finish than you have on the other two cars. Also, it has a metal flake finish, which the other two do not. But again, I think attention to detail just looks excellent as far as the aerials and everything else. And folks, I have pictures of this car, actually from the following year in 2019 at VIR. And I've got to tell you, it's a very, very good looking model. It looks absolutely authentic to the pictures that I have. Now, if you take a look at the rears of the cars, again, the TSM and the Spark model really stand out. I'll tell you the problem I have with the IXO is the rear diffuser, as large as it is, quite frankly, this is a GTLM car. It just doesn't stick out as much as it should. The tail lights look okay, but not exceptional. There's very little carbon fiber detail. Again, the scaling issues present with the rear look as well, and the aerials just really, or quite frankly, are annoying. Now there's a Spark model, and look how the rear diffuser literally sticks out of the back of it. Almost looks like it's dragging it along. And folks, that's exactly what it looks like. As I say, I've got pictures of this car, so I know. The details on it, I think, are just exceptional in every other regard. The taillights look great. All of your vents are inlaid with a silver finish. Now, my pictures, they look black in the pictures I have, not silver, so I don't know if that's the case. But again, this is a 2018 model, and I've got pictures of a 2019 model. If you look at the engine nacelle, the carbon fiber details are just excellent. Guys, it's a good-looking car. And finally, everything I said about the Spark, you can pretty much say about the TSM. It looks very, very similar. Again, the rear diffuser looks excellent. Looks like it's hanging out the back like it should. Taillights looks excellent. The wing, engine nacelle, carbon fiber detail are all spectacular. The Spark and the TSM model look more like each other and could almost be interchangeable if you took them off the boxes and if you had them both in the exact same finish. The same cannot be said of the IXO model. So at this stage, I've taken the IXO model out of the equation, and now we are just looking at the Spark and the TSM. And if you take a look at it from this view, both cars looks absolutely fantastic. There you have the TSM. And the Spark. Now I've thrown the IXO model back in. We'll take a close look at the Spark again. We'll scan over to the TSM model. Then we'll go to the IXO. And I think the casting issues that I have talked about in this you'll see are really apparent, particularly from this view. Anyhow, hope you folks have enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of these models, whether you have them, what your thoughts are. Any comments I'd appreciate below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.